Okay, we are live again here with Membership Unplugged. Here we go. There's Andy and Patrick. Hey guys, how are you today?
Good, Todd. How are you, bud?
Doing
Very
doing
good, Todd.
just great. Andy, wow. Let's start with you. By golly, what time
Right.
is it where you're at right now?
Well, I'm right now holidaying in Thailand, so we're 8 in the morning.
Eight o'clock in the morning. And
In the
this is on
morning on a
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
And we're talking to the future.
Oh, that is. We are talking to the future.
We are talking
You're
to the
very
future.
correct.
Andy's living in the future, buddy. With all the stuff he does, he's just living in the future. I love it.
I like it. Well,
I can tell you when the storms are coming here.
I like it. Well, at least
But
we
good, good.
know that tomorrow the sun will rise, at least in Thailand. And
Yes.
yeah, I like it.
Yes.
I like it. So let's hear a little bit about you, Andy. You know, we've got you on here today. I was reading over your bio that you sent me, but I think you can do a better job than I can of talking a little bit about yourself. Tell us, you've got a big history of working with membership, and you kind of started some new things over in your area. So tell us a little bit about that, and tell us about this growth that you had.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Todd. So, talking about membership in our part of the world, so I'm from Australia, as you know. So we are one of the two global pilots of Rotary International. So Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands comes into Zone 8, and we have been trialing a pilot. You know how we can have a new governance model so that we can manage our matters in our zone level. It has been now almost 2 years since the pilot, and in the pilot, I am the membership director for Zone 8. So we formed a regional council of 9 people elected by clubs. So we were not appointed. We were elected by democratic club votes. So the 1,150 clubs voted, and probably they thought I was best for membership, and I took on a role for 2 years. And I will quite soon finish my 2 year on the 1st of January. So we focus quite a lot on membership because we have been having a huge decline of membership in the last 20 years. We have reduced by about 30%, like everything like in North America. And so that was a trial model we did. Uh, but before that, of course, I was the district governor in the COVID year, 2020, 2021, which was
Mm.
unexpected year. So that's a turning point because as a district governor of one of the smaller districts, which were to be merged, I got a team and led the team to turn around the district's decline. And we ended up as the 25th largest growth district in the world in that year by growing by 14.4% and
Wow.
attracting 424 new members.
That's
Patrick likes
amazing.
it because, yeah, we've started new kind of clubs. We started 12 clubs in the 12 months, five
What
Rotary,
kind of clubs were you starting, Andy?
five Rotary clubs, new style, five Rotary clubs, three companion clubs, Rotary companion clubs, three Rotaract clubs, one Interact club, and one Rotex club. So Rotex is
Wow.
something new.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so if you know, that's good. Good point to talk because Rotex clubs were created to engage the incoming youth exchange students, the ones who go on exchange and come back. If you know,
Mhm.
we have a database at Rotary International of 500,000 people who have gone through our youth programs, youth exchange,
Wow.
RILA, or but only 3% have joined Rotary. Only about 15,000 alumni are in
Wow.
Rotary in the world. So what happens is after they come back from youth exchange, we lose them. They may go to a sponsor club and speak, but we completely lose them. But Rotex is like an interact club model, and you charter the club through Rotary International, but you keep them engaged so that they help with the next group of outgoing and the incoming student. So they quickly get engaged with Rotary's district leadership, club leadership, and those young ones get into a mainstream of Rotary. Idea is to keep the relationship. So the chances of them joining either a Rotary club or a Rotary club is more. And we see the results in my district and across. We have only like 2 or 3 Rotex clubs in Australia. So that
Hey,
was a innovative model. Yeah, Patrick.
hey, Andy, I'll tell you one of the things that I learned, I mean, me and you talk all the time. We swap mornings and evenings.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really loved about the pilot program that you guys are doing down there is that self-governance. I really kind of, at first it things that make you go, hmm. But one of the things that I absolutely really loved about that is your community groups that
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
down there. It's a different structure than we have over here in North America. I mean, where we have our district governor and then our AGs usually take anywhere between 3 and 6 clubs and stuff like this. Can you tell us a little bit about that structure right there? It doesn't have to go
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
way through, but maybe that district governor and then the community groups you do.
Yeah. Yeah. So in our Zone 8 pilot, as I said, it's a governance model. It's not purely a membership model. Membership is important, but the whole
Hmm.
governance. So what we created was the structure works. We have a regional council, which actually has a membership director, public image director, learning and development director, youth programs director, uh, and so and a chair and others. So we have 9 of those. So under each of those portfolio leaders, we have teams that work. But we are a support, a strategic group. We provide the macro strategy for the zone. And at the base level, we don't have assistant governors anymore. We have
Hmm.
community leaders, and each community leader has a group of clubs which forms a community. It's about 10 to 12 clubs. It's more than an assistant governor has. And those clubs, we clustered them. We started by saying the clubs were interested as an interest group. If you have common interests, you can come together. If you're in a
Hmm.
geographic area, you can come together. But some community groups, the clubs are like 300-400 miles away. But the idea was to collaborate, bring them as a community in that area so that there's a bigger impact when they come together and a bigger influence in the community. As you know, most of the clubs are small. You know what we have? We have only 43 clubs in my zone that have more than 50 members.
Wow.
So the rest, out of the 1,150 clubs, so you may imagine 1,100 clubs small. So when you're small, you don't have much influence in the community. But if you bring a
Okay.
group together, the community does not see them as 15 clubs, they see as Rotary. So
Yes.
the community elected, so those clubs elected a community leader. That was the
Mhm.
concept, not the district governor appointing. So it came from the grassroots. They said, okay, we want you to be our leader for the next 2 years. And the community leader's job is not to monitor, but to be a
Mm.
mentor to the club and support and bring the resources from the regional council, the portfolio teams into the clubs. Okay, what do you want? I'll get that for you. So it was more a supportive, mentoring role the community leader has.
I think that's a great model. I really do. Two quick questions on that. So the community leaders, do you see them as being, should they, when the term expires, I believe they'd probably be more prepared to become a district governor or another level up because now they've handled it instead of a group of 3 to 4 clubs, they're now handling a group of 20, maybe even 30 clubs in that community, and they've learned to really work within that community. Do you find that as
Yes,
maybe a
yes.
benefit?
So one of the objectives of the regional pilot was to provide new opportunities for leadership.
Mm,
So, the current system is you have only one person as a district governor, you may have 10 assistant governors. Sometimes they go in, but the funnel is too narrow for people
yeah.
to go up to leadership. But when you have such a large group of community leaders, we have 108 community leaders.
Wow.
And then, they get exposed to a larger group of clubs, Patrick, you're right. And the
Yeah.
chances of them moving into another district role or governor role is much easier for them because they have seen the bigger picture now.
I think that's amazing. One of the other things too that I really appreciate you bringing up, you used the term mentor, and then you were telling us that you were DG during COVID year. I mean, I can't imagine what you guys went through during COVID. I mean, it was, we all struggled. We were all, what do we do next? But one of the byproducts that came out of that, and some people speak about it negatively, but one of the things that happened to me during that time is we learned to do this. And if I wasn't, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be able to call on you, Andy, as a mentor to help me on the stuff that I did. And Todd's out in Washington State. I'm in North Carolina. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to meet Todd, but now we can get together and talk about it. And people always go, "Why you do this? Why you do this?" Well, I see so many passionate people in Rotary about different things. You got people that are passionate about polio eradication. There are the people that are passionate about the foundation, people that are passionate about youth exchange and all those other things. When you get there's two things to think about when you get a group of people that are together that are really passionate about membership, not just, yeah, I'm the membership chair, but people that are like really passionate about it, want to get it figured out, want to work and grind, and it doesn't matter. We're just going to sit here and talk about it. What's the problem? We're going to sit here and figure it out. The first thing you realize about them is they're absolutely nuts. I mean, every single person on this group right here, we have a tendency to go, we'll talk to anybody about Rotary, which is awesome. But the second part about it is that you find that you enjoy sharing those ideas. You enjoy talking to other people and going, man, that is incredible. What's working for you on that? And me and Todd got down to the nitty gritty. We were talking maybe about a week ago, and I was telling him, this exchange that I had, and he's like, "Oh man, if I was in that situation, or when I was in that situation, this is what I said." And I'm like, that's that is so much better than the way that I handled it. Now I've got another thing in my repertoire to when I'm talking with somebody, if I get in that situation again, I just learned from Todd a new way to engage, something to say to get get the conversation ball rolling. So I know that we had that, that COVID year, but I think there's some good, really good things that came about on that thing. Where else can I pop on a call on a Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock with you and, in Thailand? You know what I mean? And then Todd, he never sleeps, and he makes sure that he lets you know that too, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, his time, his time.
Yeah.
He'll be like, texting you like, go to sleep, Tiger. I'm still asleep over here on the East Coast. But it's really neat because you get this huge exchange of ideas. Have you seen a really good benefit since that time?
Yes, yeah. Actually, COVID time we had like you, we had complete lockdowns too. So in Australia, our states locked the border, so we couldn't even cross the state. Like my district
Really?
crosses two states. Yes, my district has Queensland and New South Wales.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
but we were lucky because we closed the whole country, and for my full-time work, I have to travel overseas. I couldn't go overseas because the country was locked completely. But it gave us an opportunity. For me, it gave opportunity to spend more time with my clubs. So I managed working within the state I live in, where 60% of my clubs are in the state where I live, Queensland. So I could, visit the clubs like twice, thrice over, work with them, and then when the borders opened, I would visit the next state, the clubs in the other state. But yes, we have had a e-club since 2012.
Mm,
Therefore, we were already on electronic platforms. So
nice.
when I finished my international assembly in January 2020, and we were the last group in San Diego uh, for governors. After that, it was Orlando 2 years later. So when we left San Diego, none of us were trained in running a district or leading a district in a global pandemic. We never
Wow.
thought it would happen. When we
Mm,
left, we flew back into our countries. I came back in February because I visited my mother, brother, and sisters in the US, and I visited Spokane too, where you are. And
Yeah.
when I got back mid-February, it was locked down. So we had to innovate our own leadership styles to manage lead our districts in a global pandemic.
mm.
So yeah, the electronic media helped because that is how I think we jumped with technology and we started. I think we increased our ability to adapt. That's one of the action plans actually. So I think it helped us. But at COVID time, what I saw, people ask how we attracted 424 members in 365 days. In COVID time, because communities were locked down, they could only walk around their area. They wouldn't travel too far. Like we had a restriction, you could only go 5 kilometers from your
Oh,
and that way these people saw what Rotary clubs were doing. It was yeah, they could see. Otherwise, you won't see, because what we do is very local. And then they get attracted. And also at that in that year, my district we had a record 335,000 US dollars raised for the Rotary Foundation.
wow.
People got scared that they would die and they would give more money to charity. So there were opportunities, but there is a very good reason how we attracted 424 members. Oh, that was 100 years of Rotary 2021 in Australia. Rotary first started in 1921. First club was Melbourne. So we celebrated 100 years of Rotary by running a baton across all the 1,000 clubs. Started in the Governor General's house in Canberra in the capital, and then it went. So we had many batons. Every district
Mhm.
governor bought that. So we ran a baton relay from club to club and district to district. So in my case, I ran a baton relay for 100 days in February to May, from February to May. And being a marketing guy, I got assistance from a club that ran a fantastic campaign to say no to domestic violence. And that club, with 33 members, Ballina on Richmond is a club in New South Wales. So the president of the club came to me and said, Andy, can you take this project and make it a district project? So I said, districts don't do projects, Dave. Clubs do projects. But if you want, you lead. I can help you to spread this project across the district. So he said, great, I'll take he and his wife, Robbie, Dave Harmon and Robbie. And they said, okay. I said, fine. Let's make the baton relay with a cause. I said, we are running a baton relay. Let's make a baton relay with a cause. Rotary says no to domestic violence.
Yes.
And then
That's
just
huge down there.
that,
There was just a write-up in the Rotary magazine, wasn't it?
yes, yes.
With the
It has now
purple
spread
shirts
right
and
across.
everything. Yeah, that was incredible.
So that club, well-known Richmond, led the campaign across my
Mm.
district. And so they went through every assistant governor's cluster. So clubs had to talk to each other to get the baton to each other in worker time. And there were some clubs, Todd, that had been in the same town but not spoken to each other for 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
But
Wow.
this helped them to connect and say, hey guys, when can we deliver the baton to you? Then they would visit the club to deliver the baton. And the assistant governors had a key role to play to coordinate that. And then they connect with the other assistant governor in the adjoining cluster. So it really connected, and uh, this Dave Harmon and Robbie, they really got on their Harley Davidson bikes and their cars, and campaign and led the whole campaign. But it was completely delegated through to the assistant governors, and not controlled by me. And the media followed them. Media didn't follow
They
me.
did.
They followed the local clubs. They followed wherever the baton went. So that created a huge exposure. And during that year, that is how in that 100 days, we had a huge influx of new members. 65% of those new members were women. 28% of
Really
them were under the age of 35.
nice.
And we ended up, even to date, as a result, our district has 41% females, the largest percentage in the zone.
That's incredible,
Because
Andy.
people, Patrick, don't join Rotary clubs. They join our causes or our interests.
So I'm hearing kind of an underlying theme here that I find is interesting, and either it was intentional or you stumbled into it, but everything you're saying, everything falls within the Rotary Action Plan. You talk about increasing your ability to adapt. You're talking about expanding your reach by sharing it with people, walking down the street and getting more members. You're talking about increasing your impact, the
Yep.
hundreds of thousands of dollars that were brought in. all of these things and your engagement, which is increasing the engagement and making it a better place. The four big pillars of the Rotary Action Plan combined together, uh, just in this example that you're giving, tells me that if we paid a little more attention to what that Rotary Action Plan, and I know that I've talked about the action plan in the past, and a lot of times in a group, I'll ask if anyone knows much about the Rotary Action Plan, and unfortunately, I think we've done a lousy job of talking about what this plan is and how it works. And it
Well,
works everywhere, including bringing in new members. It also works for finding some of these, maybe if some clubs have a project that they worked on, and they work on it every year, and and they keep doing it because they've always been doing it. And sometimes it's maybe ran its course, right? And everyone's in the clubs may be afraid to stop doing it, and that's part of that Rotary Action Plan, is being able to go through and evaluate if that actually if that project is maybe ran its course, and maybe we need to move on to something that's got a greater impact.
oh,
So it's
You're
interesting that the
yes.
more you talk about this, the more I'm hearing the Rotary Action Plan. And if anyone hasn't looked into it, there's a lot of videos about it, or some on YouTube. I've got one. Matter of fact, I'll share it. One what we put together. I'll share it in the comments
yeah.
after this podcast that quickly explains the Rotary Action Plan and how it, because it really can. It made a difference in your world. It can make a difference in anyone's club, and it's not just a Rotary thing. It's a club thing. If the club
Yeah.
embraces it, they can make changes, because adding all those things district-wide is a big project. Adding them in a club, each of us does our own little part. It can make a big difference.
Well, one
Yes,
of the
so
things,
Todd, you're
Todd,
right.
too, I don't think that we've done a poor job of putting it out there. I think we've done a poor job of applying it. So there's a difference when things come from up here. We've always had a problem. I don't care if it's with the action plan or messaging or doing anything. In my opinion, it's tough to get down to the member level. It's tough to get down to the member level. It's tough just to get down to the club level. And anybody who's even listening, if they're even listening at all, it's you'll know this if you do any of these things. You invite 60 clubs, and what, 23 show up, 25 show up. We're real good if we can get 50% of them to show up. So it's tough to get down to the club level. But you really, for any of that stuff, any of that grassroots, remember, grassroots is what changes the world. And you got to get to the member level. You got to go in there and go, Andy, it's you and I. Todd, it's you and I. So those types of things, I think that we just need to find maybe a better way to drill that down from up here. It's gotten down to the zone level, and it's even gotten down to the district level. How do we get it down in the hands of the people that want change, that want to succeed, that want to do these new projects and evaluate the stale, maybe older projects within the club? How do we get, I mean, that's the big question. How can we get that down there, you know?
I'm
Agree.
intrigued with something you said earlier, Andy, and that's that you were elected to your position. Elected.
Yes,
That means that the
elected,
clubs looked at
voted.
you and had an option, and they said, "We want you." Versus how is it normally done when they bring in a position? Is it appointed,
Well,
right?
yeah, so before that, before I was elected membership director of the regional council, I was assistant Rotary coordinator. Immediately after I finished my term as a governor, my Rotary director appointed me as assistant Rotary coordinator for the whole zone to start new style clubs. So other assistant Rotary coordinators had one or two districts to work with. That was more to work with existing clubs, but my role was to start new clubs right across the zone,
Yeah.
conduct workshops, which I had a team and I worked around. So they were appointed, I was appointed by the director. But when it came to the pilot model, we said we go to the clubs. So we gave our expressions of interest. My club nominated me, and then it would go. And there were four of us who ran for the role of membership director, and it went like a ballot paper, electronic ballot paper to the club. Every club had one vote, and they
Hmm.
would vote over a period of 30 days. And yes, I was elected by a majority club vote, which I'm very proud of because I'm accountable to the clubs. Everything happens at club level.
It seems like
Yeah,
there'd be a little more buy-in from the clubs and support if they were able to vote on a candidate for that position. And
Yes.
and they might have more tendency to know who you are because you had to get in front of them to say, I want your vote. This is what I bring to the table. I know that at a club level that most of the time, many members don't know who's in does, at the zone level. I don't know the names.
well, and then they
We kind of
complain
know
about
who they
it.
are, but not most of the
Yeah.
time you don't know. And if someone's appointed, it's just another, I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but it's just another Rotary person. But if it's someone you can vote for and look at it, it seems like they're a little more buy-in, might get a little bit more support across the board. Maybe at least they have a little more tendency to listen in and say, "Oh, here comes Andy. I voted for him. I want to hear what he has to say."
Yeah,
I
well,
was very
Andy,
lucky,
that's
Todd.
when I first saw Andy, he was
Yeah,
doing that. And so,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Todd, when you walk into somewhere, I mean, I remember walking into the convention and you knew Andy was there. You know what I mean? Game
I,
recognizes game, you know, we all
I,
do. We're like,
I
woo!
think
And
I was very
Game
fortunate
recognized.
because I had a good mentor, my Rotary International Director of my zone at that time. She was Jessie Harmon. She was the first
mm,
female RI director from our zone who brought me in. Even before I finished my term as governor, said, I want you to be assistant Rotary coordinator for new clubs. So that was a great opportunity she opened for me. But
mhm.
that helped me to go across the zone. And the zone and the clubs got to know me because I was conducting workshops across New Zealand, across Australia on new style clubs. And
That's
so
incredible.
people got to know. So they had more confidence in somebody they know to vote because they had seen, most of them had seen me face to face. So I think I was quite lucky to be in that position. But you're
Well,
talking about something interesting about the four-way, the action plan. You know, the Rotary's action plan, we need to promote it like how we promote the four-way test. It should be a action plan test. Does everything we do fall into the action plan? How
I
does it
like
yep.
it.
work?
Yes. You have to do that.
Everything
That's
we
the
do, we
amazing.
talk
That,
about the four-way test, in everything we do. So in everything we do, how does it fall into our action plan? Now, like
yep.
I had a strategic plan for my year as a governor when I was a governor in Nomi. Actually, our Rotary International Board wanted my district merged with two others. And me and my governor train said, what's the game here? Is it a numbers game? They said, yes, you guys are coming below 1,100. I said, give me time. I will bring up to what you want. And the board wanted me to give a strategic plan. And I based my strategic plan on the action plan
Nice.
and, and said, I will grow my district by a plus 150 members. For my district I took over, it was 1,177. But we had worked it before. For 2 years, we got it stable at 1,177. So when I came, it was easier to jump because I had worked when I was a DGN to help the governor-elect and governor of the day to work. You can't do anything when you're governor, you have to work before. So, but had to give a proposal, a strategic plan to the board, and they said, okay, we give you 3 years, show us results. So from 1,177, I grew my district to 1,400, handed over 1,400 district. So that way we were not merged. We
Mm.
had breathing space time for 3 years. But in that time, through that activity of running a baton relay no to domestic violence, that particular club had 33 members when I was a district governor. When I finished, that club grew their membership to 70.
Nice. More than
So,
double that play.
and
That's awesome.
today they have 90 members and they are the
Mm.
third largest in the zone. But in that year, Todd, 38 of my 58 clubs had a net growth. We had never seen it across. So it's not only one club, it's simply a cause that created excitement in the community. The clubs that were confined to their boardrooms and meeting rooms, they came onto the streets. And we had purple t-shirts with white hand on it to say no, branded very well. And all of a sudden the community started looking, who are these folks? But what they saw was, oh, this is a cause that I can connect with.
Yeah.
They said, we
Okay,
want to
they
be
can get
part of
behind
it.
it.
Yeah. So we created a power of attraction. But I like to see every club using the action plan as a test. Is this project, how well does it fit into our action plan?
The
It
four-way
helps. It works.
test and the Rotary action plan test. I like
That's
that.
right. The
Hey,
four
Andy,
pillars
how
test.
how are you using the are you using the club creation team? Are you doing anything with that on
Yes, we
growing
have.
membership now? Tell us how that's working for you.
Yes, thanks to Patrick, we have got. So in my in our pilot in my membership team, I have created a zone-wide team. This is something unique. We have a zone-wide, zone 8 membership team under the membership director. So it's not only me, it's my whole team how it works. It's a high performance team.
High
And one of the
performance.
high performance team, because they are in the membership team, everyone has been hands-on in growing members or starting a new club. So in the
Yep.
team, we have 21 members from 21 clubs in 14 out of the 19 districts.
Mm.
And one team specializes on starting new clubs. And everyone in that team has started a new club in the last 3 years. That was a requirement. So they are not my best friends, but they are the best players.
Nice.
And
I like what
one
you
team,
said. They're not my best friends. They're the best players. We need to
best
write that down.
players.
I love that.
And then we have another one team is to transform clubs, and that is to reduce the attrition. Our attrition was hitting at about 18%,
Hmm.
but we have reduced it down to 13. So one team was a club transformation team. You have to transform clubs for people to get engaged. Another team was to attract alumni. I told you we have so many alumni, but we really don't market it well. But we need to attract. So one team manages attracting alumni into clubs or
Hmm.
starting clubs with alumni. Another team is sharing best practices. We have a lot of good practices in our clubs, but we don't share them around. When you share knowledge, you multiply knowledge.
Yep.
And when you share practices, you multiply. So these four teams, and the team that does new style clubs has now just joined with Patrick. Patrick has had 2 sessions with our team.
Two
He has
sessions.
used the
Yeah.
new club creation app, and we are on board. And I think we are about the 10th largest number of leads we have on the app.
You're up at 8. I mean, when
Eight.
you did that session the other day, I mean, I
It's a
think we've
great
got
tool.
15 zones and you're number 8 already. You guys are gonna just crush it. But what I like what you did, I like what you said. They're not my best friends, they're the best players. That is so true. When I'm looking at your group, you have like legends. You're I love the way you manage because you build people up. You know what I mean? You want to shine light on the people that you work with. I mean, you got legends down there like David Kenny and Mark Huddleston and Steven, who's the community groups person. I mean,
I mean,
like legendary people, players in that game that know it's very rare. You go to these things and you're asked to speak and you speak, but then you get to the question and answer and you realize, like I realized the other day when I was on with all those people, I was like, I am definitely not the smartest person in this room because they are just like legendary people. And I love the way you manage and build people up because don't you like in that team aren't like Raj? Isn't he like, didn't
yes.
he just get into the G line? I mean, don't you have like this graduating class that have you've taken from and formed this team? Aren't they all like,
Yeah, so
popping up to the DG lines and
each of
stuff?
the teams, each of the teams has a team captain, which I
Mhm.
appointed the team captain. As I said, they were not all my friends. They were the best in the zone. Each of the teams has a team captain. So, like among my team today, out of those team captains, we have the new club startup team captain is the incoming district governor nominee. Not incoming, he's a district governor nominee. And in my team, a membership team of 21, we have three district governor nominees, two district governor elects, and two
Wow.
immediate past district governors. So can you see they're
You're
taking
building a
on big
bench.
leadership roles.
Yeah, you're building
And
this bench.
yeah,
It's
and when
awesome.
I leave on the 1st of January, it's one of my team members who has come forward, who has been
No.
selected as the new membership director. So who has worked in the team for 2 years. Actually,
Can you
he was
can
one
you
who
tell us who?
contested me. Yeah, he was one who contested me, but I invited him to join my team.
Well, yeah.
You know, anyone
But
who puts a hand up, it's not a win or lose race. They are all membership experts. So it's great to see. succession happens like that.
I
As
love that.
leaders, I think our primary role as leaders is not to create followers. We have to create more leaders.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
That's a
I'm
fact.
looking at Todd right now. I get this. I call Todd because I missed this call. So I see that I missed this call and I pick up the phone and I call him. He's like, "Hey man, dude, you called at the right time." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "I'm in here working with the club." I'm like, "Dude, it's like Wednesday night at 9 o'clock my time. So at 6 o'clock, what happened?" Oh, guy called and wanted some help and so I'm 20 minutes from so I jumped in the truck and went down and helped him. I was like, that's where you get it done. You roll up the sleeves and you say we can get this done, and that's what that's when you
And
have those
and also,
players.
He
Patrick and
actually
Todd,
has me coming to speak at his club Thursday morning now. He says, I want you to talk to everybody. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So, I'm not one to miss on a free breakfast. So
my club is
Andy,
a
I love
breakfast
what
too,
you're
Thursday.
saying with this. I like how it's tied into the club creation team. For our listeners, I just want to give a real quick recap. The club creation app is an app you can download on your phone or on your computer, on an iPhone or an Android. And what you do is you download the Club Creation Team app, North American
Mhm.
Club Creation Team app. I guess we probably have to start calling the International Club Creation Team because we're all the way across talking to you tomorrow anyway from our world, Wednesday, and you're using the app and you've got a team. And what happens is people go in there and they can book a step with anyone. You can book an appointment. You click a button that says book your step one. It takes you to a calendar and there's different dates and different times, and you select a time that works for you. And you will meet with someone on the team, 21 in Andy's area or 28 in our area here, and those people are ones that have a lot of experience starting clubs or working with growing membership. And you can visit with them about starting a companion club or a satellite club, impact club, a Rotaract club, Interact club, or you can book what we call a club refresh. And
Club
I forget
refresh
what
is
you call
big.
that. And
Yep.
you can refresh your club if you're not wanting to add a club. You can just say, "What are we doing?" And talk with someone to bounce off, tell them what you're doing now, and they can say, hey, maybe there's a little adjustment. Sometimes it's just a minor adjustment, like driving down the road. Those bumps on the side of the road aren't there for blind people can drive. They're there to tell you you're off the road a little bit, and all you have to do is a minor correction, and you're going down the road to success, growing your club, and adding another club if that's what you want to do. Andy,
Hey,
thank you
Todd,
for being here today. You guys got any final words? We're about out of time.
that's no
Yeah,
problem. I'm
it's
gonna
a it's
ask
a it's a good
Andy.
tool.
Yeah, we were gonna Andy, it is definitely the International Creation Club Creation Team because we got our wonderful partners there in Zone 8 and
And that's
just
what
the
we want to
legends
call,
down
right?
there.
We
But
want to,
but
yeah, we
we're
want to call it
who,
the International Club Creation App.
that's right. Who's coming on board? Who's
We are on
being
board.
onboarded?
I told
Andy?
I told Patrick I will bring from Philippines a team of club creators. They are really good. They are one of the fastest growing
Yeah,
parts
I love it. No,
memberships.
I'm gonna help Andy. He's wanting to let me say it. That's why he won't say it. Great Britain and Ireland is being onboarded right now. So our
Yes,
good friend Steve
GBI.
Howe, Steve
Ah,
Howe, is on board, and we just got them into the app.
Spain and Portugal.
Spain and Portugal, we're working on. They're wonderful people. Oh my gosh, they're just so lovely over there, and they will just absolutely smash this. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to say, guys, that the sun never sets on club creation
that's what
because
I
we're
like to
the
hear.
globe right there. I love it.
So
So
we have
sorry to.
Australia, New Zealand coming on board. So
Yep.
it's fantastic, fantastic app. I'm fully on board with it. But thank you, Todd, for the opportunity to have a chat with you guys.
What an inspiration. And remember that app's free for anybody and any Rotarian, anyone can download that app. It doesn't matter if you've been a Rotarian for a week or 100 years. You can download that app. Will help you grow your club.
Andy, have a great day in Thailand, baby.
Oh, you have a great day too, and I like to share with you. Rotary has no membership problem. We have a leadership problem.
Ooh, we'll end
Ooh.
on that.